Hey humans, welcome back to otro videito más. Today we're going to be comparing the camera system from the iPhone 14 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And before you say anything, I know they're not both the same, like the Max version, but the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max have the same camera system, so that's why I'm doing this. You will be surprised at these results. Get to it. Now, I'm going to treat these tests as if I was testing out like one of my mirrorless cameras or like a nice new prime lens. So first, we are starting at a distance of 27 inches from the subject, which in this case is my checkboard. And the reason is because while I was doing the test, I noticed that the 15 Pro Max had a hard time focusing at this 27 inches. I had to try different distances to see. Now, disclaimer, all of the settings are the same on both iPhones, like exactly the same. Plus, they were all shot in raw max. Yeah, raw max. So there's that. This is at 27 inches away from the subject. And if you look at the 15 in the middle, you can see that there is a bit more artifacts compared to the 14. And I'm pretty sure this has to do with the over sharpening that the 15 is doing. Now let's move on to the 5x telephoto lens, which is the main difference when it comes to these two phones. As you can see here, the 15 Pro is going way too hard on the sharpening. Keep in mind that this is only at 100% zoom right now, but you can see the difference even from here. The 14 Pro looks so much better. Now, remember that the 15 Pro is an optical lens and the 14 Pro is a digital 5x zoom. So technically it should be the other way around. But this is what we're getting. Not looking so good for the 15 Pro Max so far. We're going to the 1x, which should be the best looking one. But as you can see here, the iPhone 14 looks like it has artifacts around the numbers. Like the 15 Pro Max, looks kind of blurry. The only good thing that we got is the reach of the 15 Pro Max. Here you can see that you do get quite a bit more reach, which will definitely come in handy. At this point, it's kind of disappointing seeing all these results. These phones are supposed to get better, not worse. So let's move on to the 69 inches away from the subject. We can see that on the ultra wide, there's really no difference. They both have artifacts at 300%, and the details are definitely kind of lost. But let's jump into the 5X, which again should be where the big difference is. And if we look now that the iPhone 15 Pro Max has enough distance to focus properly, we can see that the 15 Pro Max does have the edge. It looks sharper with more definition. At least, we got one win for the 15 Pro Max. If we go to the 1X, the iPhone 14 Pro is definitely looking a lot sharper. I mean, was the only improvement of the 15 Pro Max the telephoto lens and the 5x optical zoom? Everything else seems to be like a downgrade. Last but not least, we got the macro capabilities of both of these phones. And to be honest, the 15 Pro Max, I think overall is better. Definitely has more detail and sharpness, but let's not stop there. Let's go ahead and look at some like real world photos, as in like outdoors. Let's see if a controlled environment is just not what this is made for. Now the 15 Pro Max looks a little softer. I think it's better to keep all those details and sharpen later than to lose details and not be able to sharpen. Now let's go to the 2X. These 2X are looking pretty similar, but the 14 still a little more detail than the 15 Pro Max. The 14 Pro definitely has less artifacts than the 15 Pro Max, which is a great thing for the 14 Pro. So again, when we go to the 5X, the iPhone 15 takes the win. I do have to say that the 14 Pro is at 135 millimeters instead of 120, but the difference is there and it's pretty noticeable. The 15 on this one has a lot more detail and you can see that on the tone. Now, if we look at this picture, we can see that the sign has a lot more detail on the iPhone 14 Pro. You can see a lot more of that dirt and grime. Also, if you look at the trees in the background, the iPhone 14 Pro is definitely doing a better job at preserving all of its features and details. Now, the ultra wide on the iPhone 15 Pro Max has slightly better slash cleaner lines, but I'm sure that's due to the over sharpening. But I think on this one, the 15 Pro Max looks better than the 14 Pro. Still, I'm just like stunned. Like, what the hell is going on here? All of the examples are basically showing that the iPhone 14 Pro is doing a lot better than the 15 Pro Max, except for the 5 times telephoto lens. And as I say this, let's move on to the 5 times telephoto on the street sign. And as you can clearly see, the 5 times on the iPhone 15 Pro Max is doing exceptional. More details, more better. In conclusion, from what I have seen, the iPhone 15 Pro Max has an enhanced telephoto lens with that tetraprism design, but I feel like a downgrade on the wide and the main camera. Someone please help me understand down in the comments below. I'm hoping that because all the sensors are not exactly the same, that with some firmware updates, the main and the wide camera will get better. But the main reason I got the 15 was for the USBC and for the 5x tetraprism design telephoto lens. So I'm not super bummed out. I really just want to be able to transfer all my files from my SD cards from my Sony a7R5 and my Sony a7S III into Lightroom using my phone as the medium. And now that I can do that, I'm very happy, needless to say. We are supposed to be getting better cameras, not worse. Still a little bit disappointing because they should be better in every way. But let's see as firmware updates go by. Let's see if things do get better. And if they do get better, I'll post an update on this video. But let's hope with a little bit of firmware update, the quality will get better. Like anything that just gets released, you're gonna have issues and problems. So I'm not surprised, I'm just disappointed. Anyways, these are the shots I got, and I figured I'd show you my findings because they are very, very surprising. Do with this what you will, but if you haven't yet decided to sell your 14 to get the 15, I would definitely wait if you don't like take long range telephoto photos. And if you don't need the USB-C, I don't know, I think I would wait it out just a little bit and see how things progress. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And yeah, how about you?